What's up, guys? How's it going? Let me pop up my chat here. What's up, Spirit of the Trees? How's it going, Matthew? Matthew saying Lewis is a goof. How's everyone's Saturday going? Hey, Bia! What's up, Julissa? Julissa saying hello, Lisa and Wolfpack. Rochelle, what's up? How is everyone's weekend going? And did you guys see anything interesting or watched any interesting shows? Bernadette, what is it? What's up? Bernadette saying, is it true? Am I a fan of Meghan Markle? No. I am not. What's up, Aaron? Tammy, 0. Whoa, my computer is doing something weird. I clicked on a button. What's up, Lisa Boo, Elaine? Everyone's seen, am I a fan of Meghan Markle? No, I'm not. What's up, Obsessed for Disneyland? Diane, Shelley. Zero T's like, yeah, what's up with aliens coming into Earth? The problem is with those aliens, they could not think of pulling out their cell phone and you know, taking a video. Like, that's where it's driving me nuts. If I saw that in my backyard, I'd be pulling out my cell phone to see if that, you know, what I'm seeing is true. And they did not do that. Rochelle, thank you for the $5 super sticker with the fitness pair celebrating hearts for Rochelle. Thank you. Jess S, how's it going? Anne saying, why not? Just curious. I'm just not into that, I guess. Jules is saying that's the first thing I would have done. Exactly. I would have pulled out my cell phone. Do something. Take a selfie. I don't care if I was terrified. I'd be like, check this out. Look at what's in my backyard. Am I really seeing this? I don't care if you believe me or not. I just want somebody to see that what I'm seeing. Because if it's something like that, I would put it on video. And I probably wouldn't call 911. I don't know. Lorraine, what's up? Jay Brimble, Lorraine saying they might have recorded it, but were told not to show it. Well, what would happen if they show it? I would show it. Who cares? Depending on who told them. But even that, free country. Jay Brimble saying, hello, Lisa. It's lovely to see you. Awesome. I don't care who told me not to post it. I would still post it. Because that would make your story more credible. Because right now it's just, you saw it. It could have been anything. Could have been Baby Yoda in the backyard. You don't know. Spirit of the Trees says, my Saturday was interesting. Went to the Oddities and Curiosity Expo here in New Orleans. I saw him. Oh, that is cool. That sounds interesting, actually. The expo itself sounds interesting. Sound like fun. Susan! I did not, unfortunately, see UFO like they did in Vegas. I had to work, so I was inside, so I didn't see anything. Lorraine, I know it, like the Men in Black. Lorraine saying, well, a lot of times when people have alien encounters, they're visited by men who convince them not to show photos or talk about it. I still would post it. I don't care. Who cares? Yeah, but the problem is they called 911. I wouldn't have called 911. I would have just posted it. Then the Men in Black would have came later when I've already posted. So it wouldn't have mattered. They probably would have made me tear it down or whatnot, but it would have already been posted. And I'm pretty sure some people would have seen it already. Angel, what's up? Zero T's would say totally film. Go out and say, welcome to Earth. Let me take a selfie. Then show it. Jules is saying 27 days to go, and she's talking about Mad Monster, Arizona. I believe it's on the 7th, 8th, and 9th July. Looking forward to it. Bernadette saying hello to Gary and Larry. Let me move my mic a little bit. So you guys, oh, I lost the googly eyes. It fell off. They're doing fine. Larry's in the back dying to meet you guys. Gary's just hanging. Zero saying I wouldn't have said too late it's out. Yeah, that's what I would basically say. The Men in Black could come and I would have said the same thing. Well, I've already posted it. What are you going to do about it? And then it's going to become an X-File episode. I was visited by the Men in Black and they made me... But I get what you're saying, Lorraine. I totally get it. But by the time I post it, it would have been already done and said. And it would probably take them a while to figure out where I'm at. And then it'd probably be up for about... I'm going to give them like 30 minutes. So by the time they get, at least a bunch of people would have seen it. Lisa Boo saying, hit the like, guys. Yes, guys, please. If you haven't done so, smash that like button. Heather, whatever. How's it going? Jules is still eating rabbit food. Like veggies? There's nothing wrong with veggies. But still, like, kind of with UFOs, I believe that there's life on other planets, but I have to see a UFO to believe it, I think. And once I see it, I'll be like, okay, they're real. I'm like, if you want to do Scully and Mulder, I'm Scully when it comes to UFOs. I want to find some scientific. Well, no, not. I'm not looking for a scientific explanation because she always wanted a scientific explanation. I just need to see it with my own eyes. All right, today's show we are going to talk about ghost in the news, where I literally Google ghost in the news and see what's up, see what pops up. And I found this cool little article. And then also, I found another article since we had a UFO sighting. Apparently, there is a guy that claims that the U.S. has had like some sort of alien craft, or I think alien craft is what, and I will talk about that. I found an article on that. And we are going to talk about Tirana. How's it going? We're going to end with the Barclay, I don't know how to pronounce it, hotel. And I got inspired by the last Ghost Adventures episode because I had no idea this hotel existed, and I think I've driven by it at one point. And so we are going to delve into the history of the Barclay Hotel in Los Angeles. Matthew saying all my UFOs are airplanes. Jules is saying, can I steal Baby Yoda from Lewis for me to bring it to Phoenix? I have a baby. I have one myself, Jules. I could bring mine. He's in the other room. Because of all this UFO talk, some strange people caught on a trail cam. I thought that was kind of crazy. If you caught me on Nerd Report's live the other day. Christy, what's up? All right. What? There's a pop-up. How is there a pop-up? Give me 1 second, guys. No. All right, we are going to go start. Give me 1 second. Let me find the window. With Ghost in the News. Let me pull up here so I can see it. This is by WGNO, New Orleans, ABC. A French Quarter t-shirt shop believes surveillance camera caught ghost. And it was written by Kenny Lopez, and it was posted on June 5th. And I thought this was kind of cool. New Orleans, WGNO, the NOLA t-shirt of the Month Club shop at St. Anne's in the French Quarter believes they had a visitor at their store last night. A ghost, perhaps? Store owner Jackie Apston tells WGNO that at around 10:30 p.m., so this is the look of the, make sure you guys can see it. All right. This is what the little t-shirt shop looks like. That at around 10:30 p.m. on Sunday, it appears as though a French Quarter spirit may have visited our store. Owners Jackie and John Apston reviewed the store's video surveillance camera and say that it appeared the side was pushed open on its own unexplainably. You could see a light white orb fly across one of the cameras, and you could see what appears to be something moving in the reflection. Although they say it appears nothing was moved or touched when they went to check on the store, we believe it's just a friendly French Quarter spirit just checking out on our t-shirt collection after having one too many I don't even know what that is. Xerox? Jackie jokingly said. The owners say they have definitely felt spirits in their store before. I hear footsteps a lot when nobody is in there, and sometimes the lamp will turn off unexplicably or unexpectedly. It doesn't scare me. I believe if the store is haunted, then it is definitely a friendly ghost who loves t-shirts and the spirit of all things New Orleans. I believe this won't be the last time we will be visited by our local French Quarter ghost, Abston said. So basically, I don't know if I can make this bigger. Can I? Yes! Let me see if I can... Oh no, it's already playing when it started. Sorry, guys. Oh, of course it stops. So you see the door open. If you look at the door over here, you kind of see a reflection. Like up here. Oh, what is it doing? Did it freeze? Oh, there it goes. And then you see like a light orb. And I think that's all that happens. It looks like they have... No. No, ads. I don't need ads. Alright. Pardon the proactive ad. Spirit of the Trees is like, I know that place. Jules says New Orleans is my favorite place to visit. Ozzy Walks, what's up? Saying love your ghost stories. So what do you guys think of that? Do you think it's real, or do you think the store owner is trying to get some business? Lorraine says, I saw nothing. And then, of course, it goes to whatever this is. Let me see if there's a better video of it. Give me one quiet second here. Let me switch the screen. Let me see if I can find a better video of it, because that one kind of is meshed with the article. That way you guys can see it. Because sometimes it's hard to replay those when they're like that. Jules is saying we're too old for proactive. Matthew's going really proactive in keeping you from seeing it again with ads. Exactly. And then it goes to a different news article or different video. Let me see if I can play it again. Angel saying I didn't see anything at all. I'm going to see if I can find it on YouTube. Because it has to be... It's got to be somewhere else. Heather whatever saying, I think it looks like a tennis shoe at the bottom. White shoe, dark laces. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. I think I found one. Yay! If it'll play. Gotta love videos. It's loading, guys. Give me a second. I got the thinking ring of death right now. Laughing stock, how's it going? It's the same video. Come on, it just doesn't want to play. It ruined it. No. Elaine saying trying to get business, even the ghosts loved their t-shirts. Alright. Oh. I think it pops up. I think it popped up. Oh, here. The problem is you see everything, but that's okay. It'll work. It'll work for now. I didn't say save. Okay. Alright, you see the door before I got the ring of death here. See the door opened. Oh, this one's kind of... And then you can kind of see a reflection on this door. The door to the far right. And then you see an orb go this way. And then that's basically it. So what do you guys think it is? Because that door just opened. No, we're not playing that. Whatever that is. Go back to me. So what do you guys think? Do you think that business is trying to get business? Or do they actually have a ghost? Christy Fox is saying, oh, okay, I saw it. Pretty cool. Lorraine says, except for the door still opening. Basically, that's what it was. And there's a very, very faint orb. Rochelle's saying, not sure, but it is something. Like, you can kind of see in, if it'll let me play it again here. Let me see. Let's see if it'll let me play it again. Oh my gosh. It didn't go full screen. Oh, there it goes. Like, you'll see on the lower left hand, you'll see like this orb. The first time I watched this, actually, there it goes. I didn't notice the door. And then you can kind of see something moving in the door to the far right. Like, it's weird. But the first time I saw this, I'll go, oh, it's just an orb. And then I watched it again, and then I see the door, and You can kind of see something moving in the reflection of this door. Spirit of the trees is saying hard to say, maybe. Jules is saying every building in New Orleans has ghosts. Diane saying all I saw was the door opening. There is a faint orb on the lower left-hand corner, and on the in the reflection, you have to kind of watch it like a couple times because I missed the door opening the first time. Heather whatever says it looks like a woman. I think it's a dummy in the middle. Susan's asking if I can replay. Yes, let me see if it'll let me. Let me transition back. I have one screen, so I'm kind of transitioning between windows. Okay, you see the door open. And then, like, right where my cursor is, because I think you guys can see my cursor because of the way I did it, you're going to see an orb right in this area. Like, it's very faint. There it goes. And then, when you look over here, you're going to see some movement in the reflection in the window. It's, like, weird. Right there. Like, there's something going on right here. And then it stops, and that's it. I think the thing in the middle, Heather, whatever that you're talking about, it's like a dummy with the they're displaying the shirts on. And there's like bags right here or something. Melissa, how's it going? Angel says maybe it's real. I mean, if I'm going to fake something, it's going to be real obvious. Bernadette says that looks like a foot at the corner bottom. It's extremely small. You have to like squint your eyes. I know it's very faint too. It's hard to see. Julius is like, I'm on my phone. I need to get my reading glasses. It's super faint. Wing Zero, how's it going? Susan saying true. New Orleans is full of spirits. Definitely. I mean, the orb. I guess the orb you can fake. The door opening, though, somebody could have pushed it open. But then you see, like, movement on the far right, like the reflection. You kind of see something going on there. Bernadette saying, I did see the orb. It was fast. Yes, Wing Zero, I do have memberships. Spirit of the Trees is saying, come to my house if you want to hear noises in the other room with no one else's home. Oh my gosh, that's creepy. Are they... Spirit, is it like a... Obviously, you still live there, so it's not super bad. So, are they friendly? Wing Zero, thank you for joining the Wolf Pack. Hearts for Wing Zero. Diane saying, okay, I saw it this time, flew around like a bug. I mean, obviously, because this business is now on the news, it's going to get business. Melissa saying could be a black cat. I don't know. It's hard to say if they actually have something or if the business, the t-shirt shop is actually trying to um make business. But obviously they're not affected by it, so hey, that's good. Heather, whatever. Thank you for your PayPal donation. Hearts for Heather, whatever. You're awesome, girl. Heather, whatever, saying, but will they buy things? That's true. They may just walk in just to see if they catch something. But it's going to bring business to them, though. So, hey, maybe somebody may buy something. You never know. It's probably going to be mostly people out of town, I would say, because I guess it's a t-shirt shop that sells New Orleans type t-shirts, according to the article. But that's true. Some people just walk into the business and they just look. They don't really buy. So super true. Super true, Heather, whatever. Rochelle does not think they are just doing it for business. I know the French Quarter's super haunted. So big possibility. I don't dismiss that it's not. Susan, thank you for the super chat. Hearts for Susan, or it's a super sticker, it didn't load. With the fitness pair blowing sticker, or blowing stickers, blowing hearts. Heart for Susan. Thank you, Susan. I got tongue twisted there. Wing Zero saying cool alien ring. Right, thank you. Spirit of the trees, yes, friendly. I run out to kitchen thinking my son was in kitchen closing and shutting cabinets and doors to find my son asleep in his bed. At this point, I think it's just my Oh, okay, cool. Mother-in-law, cool. Matthew saying maybe someone is in there hidden. I keep seeing a reflection on the door on the far right. That's where I see like movement in the glass. I'm assuming that's glass. Door, like it's like a, what do you call those? Like a French door? I see movement. Also the two doors on the right, either moving or compression artifacts. But I don't know where that movement's coming from, if it's a reflection from what's inside the store or something outside of the store. Tyranna, thank you for the super sticker. Hearts for Tyranna with the fitness pair with coffee. Hearts for Tyranna, thank you. It's kind of hard because the reflection, like I was saying, I don't know if it's coming from inside the store or if it's coming outside of the store. Oh, I blocked part of the door. All I see is movement when I look at it, so I don't know where on that far right French door, I guess is how you call those. And I don't know where that faces. If that's the entrance to the store or if that goes into the back. Rachel's like fitness pair with coffee. That's what it is. Well, it's a pair with a sweatband, so fitness pair. Oh, that's so sweet, Bernadette. Bernadette says my cat Cookie that passed. I think it is here because her sister Peanut keeps playing and staring where Cookie liked to be, and I feel warm at night when sleeping when she cuddled me. That is so sweet, Bernadette. That is. All right, my next article. I usually don't go in do these types of articles, but because aliens were spotted in Vegas, I wanted to do this article. Let me see if I can see it. And it's from The Guardian, and it says whistleblower claims the U.S. has alien vehicles, but where's the proof? Written by Adam Gabbett. So what do you guys think before I delve into this article? Do you think the U.S. has alien vehicles or has been testing or using alien technology? So this one says experts in UFO lore suggests the assertion should be taken with a grain of salt and demand to see evidence of the non-human craft. So apparently there's no proof, so it's just hearsay, basically. Some guy claims. Some prominent experts have expressed growing skepticism over whether the U.S. is harboring UFOs, as the government whistleblower who made the extraordinary claims has gone on to suggest the U.S. had also recovered alien bodies. David Grush, a former intelligence official who led analysis of unexplained anomalous phenomenon UAP within a U.S. Department of Defense agency, called headlines around the world with his assertion that the U.S. has been collecting non-human craft for decades. That prompted the U.S. House of Representatives to announce an investigation into Grush's allegations, with a hearing on the issue expected to be announced in the next few weeks. The hearing is set to be the latest official U.S. response in recent years to the issue of UAPs, which has raised heated speculation among UFO believers, as well as prompted national security concerns in America about the possibility of an unknown craft from other states that could be penetrating U.S. airspace or operating around the globe. So they're thinking it's something else. But Grush whistleblowing claims have grown more dramatic after he has emerged into the public eye and are now facing growing skepticism. After initially telling the debrief website the government has possession of intact and partially intact alien vehicles, he has gone on to suggest the U.S. has also encountered malevolent alien pilots. Experts in UFO lore have suggested his assertions should be taken with a grain of salt, questioned the veracity of his claims, and demanded proof. Which is true. Like, if you're going to say something, you should have proof. He has not presented anything like the evidence that we would expect to believe something as extraordinary as this, said Gareth Graff, a journalist and historian whose upcoming book, UFO, The Inside Story of the U.S. Government's Search for Alien Life Here and Out There, will be published in October. There's no first-hand knowledge. He didn't see these things himself. He didn't touch them. He wasn't part of the operation to retrieve them, and we haven't heard from anyone who has. Of course you're not going to hear from anyone who has, because it's probably classified. The debrief published the allegations from Grush, who left the government in April after a 14-year career in U.S. intelligence. On Monday, he told the news outlet that secretive U.S. government agencies and defense contractors have been recovering fragments of non-human craft, in some cases entire craft, for decades. That is crazy. Now it kind of makes sense, because he left his 14-year career. Now he's kind of not under contract, so now he's talking. So that's crazy. According to the debrief, Grush's, I don't know how to pronounce his last name, knowledge of non-human materials and vehicles was based on extensive interviews with high-level intelligence officials. He said he had reported the existence of a UFO material recovery program to Congress. Oh no, it jumped up. To Congress, and filed a complaint with the Intelligence Community Inspector General. That complaint contained classified locations, program names, and other data, the debrief said. But in a follow-up interview with the News Nation on Tuesday night, Grush said the U.S. had also found alien pilots. Well, naturally, when you recover something that's either landed or crashed, sometimes you encounter dead pilots, and believe it or not, a fantastical as that sounds, it's true, Grush said. Another Grush said, probably in the article they said, he also said there was a sophisticated disinformation program targeting the U.S. populace to suppress information on UFOs, which is a common conspiracy trope in the UFO community. So what do you guys think this is real, or if he's just talking just to get attention because he ended his 14-year career in intelligence? D-Nice, what's up? Diane saying yes, suggested that is how they were able to design the stealth fighter. That jet is almost extinct. The chat's moving too fast and I couldn't read it. That jet is almost extinct as far as technology, but was amazing. Zero, sorry to hear about your dog. Melissa saying, I think they can still get in trouble even if they leave their job. Classified info is connected to the government, not the job. Bernadette goes, I'm shocked the government doesn't put a contract for life when dealing with these things. You never know. Maybe they didn't. He just talked anyways. He probably has the men in black at his door right now. Heather, whatever, saying, I don't know about him, but I think UFOs are real. Rochelle saying, but the thing of it is, I think the real classified information he's not giving out because he'd be in fear of dying, but by talking. True. And then, obviously, they're asking for proof, and he has none, so that is another thing. He couldn't take pictures, because they'll be like, why did you take a picture? We need to confiscate your phone. You know what I mean? Type of thing. Julissa saying, I'm sorry, I'm such a skeptic. Nothing wrong with that. I'm still kind of, I believe on life on other planets, but I have to see a UFO to believe it type of thing. Even though I like aliens, I still have to see. Rochelle's saying it's just like anything in the world right now. If you pay attention to the real darkness of it, basically, they're allowed to tell us what they want us to hear or what they think we should hear. True, true. I like how you put that, Rochelle. That is, I know, D-Nice, I know there's a lot of scammers on Facebook. So, guys, be careful. Well, there's a lot of scammers everywhere, not just in Facebook. Melissa saying, my friends with top secret clearance are subject to random lie detector tests. My ex-hubby had top secret clearance and I used everything I could to get a secret. Yes, even that, and he wouldn't. Spirit of the Trees, it almost seems intuitive to go public for self-preservation. If anything happens to the whistleblower, the government can be scrutinized. Well, especially now, because now, they mentioned his name in this article. Zero teases, see it to believe it. I totally agree. Which is weird because with paranormal stuff, it's different with me. But with aliens, I'm kind of like on the fence with. The story aligns with a lot of similar stories that have played out going back to the 80s and 70s that together allege that the US government has kept an incredible secret, the literal most extraordinary secret that mankind could have for not just weeks or months, but years and decades with no meaningful leak or documentary evidence to ever come forward, Graff said. And I think when you look at the government's ability to keep secrets, other really important secrets, there's a lot of reasons to doubt the capability of the government to do that. As the week has gone on, Grush's claim has expanded even further. He said some of the craft were football field size. All right. Well, then where are they storing this if it's football field size? And told Le Parisien, a French newspaper, that the U.S. had possession of a bell-like craft which Benito Mussolini's government had recovered in northern Italy in 1933. Former colleagues have vouched for Grush's character, and another official backed up Grush's account to the debrief. But the All-Domain Anomaly Resolution Office, which was established to investigate UAP by the Department of Defense, replacing the UAP task force with Grush's claims, was not allowed access to some materials, issued an unequivocal denial. To date, the AARO has not discovered any verifiable information to substantiate claims that any programs regarding the possession of reverse engineering of extraterrestrial materials have existed in the past or exist currently. AARO is committed to following the data and its investigation wherever it leads, said Sue Go, Go, a spokesperson for the Department of Defense. Whew. That sounds like she read it from a textbook. The AARO, working with the Office of the General Counsel and the Air Force Office of Special Investigation, has established a safe and secure process for individuals to come forward with information to aid AARO in its congressionally mandated historical reviews. The AARO's Historical review of records and testimonies is ongoing and due to Congress by June 2024. The double A, oh my God, they use the double ARO so many times, welcomes the opportunity to speak with any former or current government employee or contractor who believes they have information relevant to the historical review. It sounds like they just kind of copy, yeah, it's in quotes, like they copied it off of their, what do you call it? Their, I can't think of the word. Like it's not rules, but it's something like that. Like these are our guidelines. Mick West, a science journalist and author who is a noted UFO skeptic, told News Nation that parts of Grusch's claims were essentially part of UFO mythology. Like Graff, he said the fact that Grusch's evidence is secondhand makes it difficult to believe. Which I agree, but if he was under top security, he can't necessarily pull out his cell phone and take a picture. That's a huge point. He's not someone who worked on any of these programs. He said he didn't see any photographs. He's not actually seen these things. He's talked to people, West said. And we know there are people who think they've worked on programs. There have been people coming forward many years. It's never actually amounts to anything, and it's quite possible that people have become convinced that they've worked on programs like this simply because reverse engineering programs of crashed things are actually real. Re-engineering efforts go all the way back to the First World War, when the U.S. began retrieving German equipment from the battlefield and rebuilding it. In his interview, West pointed to the example of Cosmos 954, a Soviet Union satellite that exploded over Canada. A Canadian-American team collected debris and, West said, attempted to reassemble it. That would have been top secret. That would have been a highly compartmentalized program, and you could very easily see how people working on a program like this could come to believe that they are actually working on UFOs. True. Ask if he believes Grusch's story, West said. I don't think what he's saying is accurate. I think it's quite possible he's believing in what he's saying, but it's quite an incredible story that really needs some actual verification, and I'm hoping that's going to be coming soon. It gives you some good points about how that guy, I guess the guy never worked on any of those programs, but they were saying like he used I think it was a satellite as an example, and then it being top secret could make think people believe that they're working on UFOs. That makes sense too. D Nice is saying I believe both in ghosts and aliens. Oh, guys, let me make sure I didn't miss anybody. Susan's like always classified ASAP. Heather Wetter saying they don't tell. Susan also says government covers up everything. That's true. Manda Panda, how's it going? Bernadette saying, I remember when my ex and I were driving back from Vegas, we were in Utah, and it was like 2 or 3 a.m. and this big bright light in the sky, and it was gone in a flash. That is crazy. I've never seen anything like that, so that's why I'm kind of iffy when it comes to that. Melissa saying, I worked at Raytheon. Phones and smartwatches had to be left outside top secret areas. Walking down the hall, everyone's phone was in a cubby. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They make sure he can't just pull out his cell phone to get proof. But then again, the article also pointed out that he didn't work in those areas. Like, he's getting these stories or these claims from somebody else that told him that he doesn't work with the area, but I guess maybe in the building that he works with. I don't know who he talked to or where he got this information. Rochelle is saying, I do think perhaps some of it was deliberately over the top, because if it was too relatable, too many of us will grow scared and stockpile or quit working. True. Very true. And go off grid. Which makes sense with what Melissa was saying, why this guy does not have proof. Because they make sure, and probably by what she was saying, by what Melissa was saying, that you don't have anything that can take video on you. So it's a big possibility, because if you think of it, if you go back to the crash, the alleged crash back in the, I think, when was it, in the 40s or 50s? You would think, because where would this notion of aliens come from? You know what I mean? You would think something, they have something. You know what I mean? Heather, whatever, saying he would be in trouble for speaking about it. Well, it says that they're going to investigate him. So I'm wondering if they're going to investigate him to see if he broke it, like, any, or they're investigating his claim. So maybe, but then again, that could be something else for something else. They're covering something. Wow, Melissa saying, I almost got my clearance at Raytheon with secret clearance. I was interviewed twice by the FBI, but I left before it came through. It takes 12 to 18 months. Wow. Heather, whatever, I think he worked there, but he didn't work in the area where, I guess, in that area. I guess I don't know how you would explain it. Because that's what I got from it. He got it from someone that, like, hearsay kind of thing. Like, he talked to somebody that told him this is happening. But he didn't physically work in the areas where they were working on these things. Rochelle's like, absolutely no doubt in my mind do they have aliens captured here. I'm pretty sure. Come on. Something. D-Nice! Welcome to the Wolf Pack! Hearts for D-Nice! Susan saying the 50s. But you would think from that, because where would that story have come from? Like, something had to happen. Bernadette say they're gonna probe. You never know. Yeah. Heather, whatever, saying, but he had security clearance. It says he worked with intelligence, so I'm not sure. Like, it didn't delve into, like, exactly who he was. Lisa Boo saying Roswell was in 47. Lorraine saying, I have the most problems from humans. I know what you mean, Lorraine. I totally know what you mean. Yeah, D-Nace, that's what I was thinking. I thought you were already part of the wolf pack. But that's weird. So I think I would still need proof, but I do think, considering with all that's happened, there has to be something. You know what I mean? I believe that there is something. There can't be nothing. There has to be something. But I still have to see it to believe it. So I get what this article is saying too. Like there's no proof, but at the same time, he couldn't get proof. All right, guys, did you guys catch the most recent episode of Ghost Adventures? Because that's where I got my inspiration for the next topic. I had no idea this hotel existed. It's not talked about as much, I would say, until now because it was on Ghost Adventures, and I think I've driven by it. Bernadette's like, just ask Gary about it. Heather, whatever, saying something makes them act funny in secrecy and kind of weird and revealing stuff. I've no doubt they weren't supposed to share. Probably. I'm pretty sure he's not supposed to even say anything. Spirit of the trees, no, but do tell. Julissa did not see it. I want to see if anyone saw it. All right, guys, I lost the mic for a second. Sorry. I hit it and I lost it. I was like, wait a minute. I can't hear myself anymore. Bernadette's not a fan of Zach. Christy saw it, was hope I would talk about it. It's not the No, it is not the Cecil. It's close to the Cecil. Well, anyways, Zach and the boys, they investigated the Barclay Hotel in Los Angeles, which I didn't know existed. Apparently, according to them, this is the big brother of the Cecil Hotel. And it kind of inspired me to talk about it and try to figure out what the history. I mean, they talked about the history a bit about it, but I wanted to hear more about it. And I guess it is like the Cecil now. It is a low income housing development. So I am going to talk about. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Here. Go up all the way to the top because I scrolled down. There's a lot of crazy things that happened at this hotel. This is by Curbed Los Angeles, and is written by Hadley Mears. Came out, it's an older article. And it says death at Hotel Barclay. Behind the beautiful facade, gruesome slayings and bloody accidents occur. And they investigated the building, but there were still people in the building, so I kind of felt like some of the stuff they could have caught could have been, like, because there's people in the building, so I kind of was, like, a little iffy with it. Christy, what did you think of it since you've seen the episode? I know they're making all these I noticed they're making all, like, these older hotels low-income housing. So I guess they don't mind putting people in haunted buildings? I don't know, this is weird. Well, anyways, here's what it looks like on the outside. I think I've driven by it. It is off of 4th Street. The Cecil is off of 2nd, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's off of 2nd. Yeah, I think it's off of 2nd. It starts off in 1911. There was a minor car accident in front of the Grand Van Nuys, because that's what it was called before it became the Barclay Hotel in downtown Los Angeles. As a result, a marble tombstone inscribed with the name Teddy fell from the back of a jolted truck. Horror, shrieked a telephone operator who happened to be near. The Los Angeles Times reported. 2 or 3 men stood and wondered while the poor porter wrestled and tussled to get the obstreperous marble back into his packing case. He was too slow, however, to keep several others passing from seeing the thing. The question at once arose, who's dead? This would be a question asked frequently at the Van Nuys Hotel, known today as Hotel Barclay, where mysterious deaths were a way of life. And I guess it says Teddy was the name of a dog. The white fox terrier had lived at the hotel with his owner, the wealthy V8 Phipps, who had occupied rooms at the hotel for more than 4 years. Teddy's tombstone had been brought to Phipps and his wife for inspection before it and Teddy in a custom casket were taken to the Phipps ranch for burial. From the start, the Van Nuys Hotel was a place where many living things left in decidedly worse shape than when they had arrived. Christy's saying they got some good evidence on Spirit Box and they all seem to be physically affected. Super true. D Nice is like, oh, I've had taxi drivers pick me up near there. That's true, they did. And then they caught some weird stuff too as well. Built as an investment property by SoCal pioneer Isaac Van Nuys. No, where did it go? Clicked me off of it. I must have clicked a hyperlink. Oh my god, and then it took me all the way down. Sorry, guys. I gotta be careful while I click. Built as an investment property, as I was saying, by SoCal pioneer Isaac Van Nuys, and it disappeared. The 6-story Beaux Arts building at 4th and Main claimed its first casualty, James McNully, in September of 1896 during its construction. According to newspaper reports, McNully, in company with other workmen, were engaged in hoisting a large oil tank. The rope broke and a tank fell with a crash. McNully's right kneecap was broken. He was badly cut all over the right eye and was bruised about the body. He made a full recovery and the building was soon completed. But then, wait a minute, didn't I read that? Oh, James. Okay. I was like, wait a minute. Didn't make any sense. The Van Nuys Hotel opened its doors to the public on January 19th, 1897. Designed by the firm of Morgan and Walls, it boasted a luxe interior and modern conveniences that were still rare in the building frontier metropolis. The ground floor included visiting parlors, a bar, office, a grill, and an expansive dining room. The upper 5 floors were reserved for guest rooms and singled out for special praise by visitors, a writer for the LA Times reported on the new hotel. And I guess this is one of or two of the rooms, like 2 views of the rooms. This says a corner of the Van Nuys Hotel's fancy dining room. This is the main lobby with full-length windows. And it's from, this photo happens to be from the Los Angeles Public Library photo collection. Or they both might be. Looks quaint. Looks definitely for the time. Because we don't have lamps like these anymore. The furnishings of the bedroom. Melissa goes, my dog finally calmed down but is giving me the side eye. He knows Lisa speaks the truth. Melissa's like, I want those lamps. I know those are cool. So I kind of pointed it out. I thought it was cool. The furnishings of the bedrooms are of rich character. The carpet are of late and elaborate patterns, and the furniture of oak, birch, bird's eye, maple, and mahogany. There are 60 private and 10 public baths in this hotel. That's what's weird about these hotels. Like, it has a separate bathroom, like, on the floor. So I thought those were kind of, I guess that was common back then. I'm not sure, but I noticed the Cecil had that too as well. Like a bathroom that was on the floor that people could use. It wasn't in their room. The stationary washstands in each room are conveniently arranged with mirror and electric light over each. A neat device for the electrical heating of curling irons in each room is a new feature of special interest to the ladies. The hotel had only been open 2 months when tragically struck, leading to the horrific death of waiter named Charles Gamble, according to the LA Times. Gamble was once of 2 waiters whose duty it is to deliver meals to the various rooms. He was sent to the 3rd floor to get a tray of dishes and returned by the elevator. When the cage neared the 1st floor, the elevator boy, Robert White, turned the wheel of the lever the wrong way, and instead of stopping, the cage started up to the top again. As they neared the 3rd floor, the elevator boy reached for the door, opened it, and stepped out, leaving the elevator moving and Gamble inside. Apparently, Gamble became frightened. He tried to get out also. As he stepped forward, stooping, the top of the doorway caught him and threw him forward. The floor of the elevator rising and pinning his legs above the thigh. Whew. And the machine still going up held him by 1 foot only. Finally, that was what was smashed? and Gamble shot head foremost down the shaft, striking on the basement floor 3 stories down. I wonder if that was the one that they mentioned on Ghost Adventures. His skull was fractured, and he passed away at the receiving hospital 1 hour later. Over the next few years, more elevator accidents would occur, one of which in 1901... Oh, this is the one they mentioned. Took the life of Joe Cato, a hotel employee who looked down the elevator shaft only to have his... Because he was looking down the elevator shaft, and he forgot that there was a weight for the elevator, and it crushed him. That's crazy for a hotel. That's crazy. Untarnished by these deaths, the Van Nuys Hotel prospered. The dining room was crowded every Sunday night with the most fashionable people in Southern California, who dined to the tunes of Romany Orchestra, one of the most popular big bands of the time. Politicians, artists, and Gilded Age executives stayed over when in Los Angeles. Overseeing it all was the beloved proprietor Milo Potter, a confirmed bachelor, popular clubman, fancier of fast horses, I wonder what this guy looked like, semi-millionaire and enterprising businessman. At his side was the refined housekeeper, Nellie M. Jones, who by her efficiency, cultured grace, and tact had made herself an indispensable governess of the hotel. In 1901, the two were quietly married, and he married his housekeeper? The two were quietly married in Potter's apartment in the Van Nuys, shocking Potter's many sporting friends. It would be a big year in the life of the Van Nuys. In May of 1901, President William McKinley and First Lady Ida McKinley visited the hotel while touring the western states, according to the LA Times. As the president's carriage came to a stop directly in front of the main street entrance to the hotel, at the end of a double line of infantrymen who held back crowds from the passageway to the door, the enthusiastic people surged about the vehicles and beat against the solid lines of soldiers and police until it was impossible for guards to control them. The president, smiling, solicitously escorted Mrs. McKinley from the carriage to the hotel door, where 3 expectant little girls in white with baskets of flowers waited to strew his path with blooms. While Potter attempted to portray the hotel as a beacon of respectability and elegance, he could not escape the reality that downtown Los Angeles was a teeming, wild neighborhood filled with haves and have-nots. He fought hard to shut down the rowdy 400 Club bar next door to the Van Nuys, complaining of the people it drew to the neighborhood. A LA Times vignette highlighted the stark iniquities present in Victorian Los Angeles. Two lean and hungry hobos. So this is what they actually posted in the LA Times? Alright. 2 lean and hungry hobos stood in front of the Van Nuys Hotel last night. They were peeking in over the sash curtains at the blaze of light, at the gleam of men's linen, at the clicking of crystal, glittering under the soft glow of shaded candles. Said the little, oh my god, said the little hobo to the big hobo in aesthetic tones. Say, get onto the decorations, will you? Decorations, snorted the big one. Decorations, hell, look what they got to eat. It was... Sorry. Wow. Nuke the fridge in the house. This is actually a thing in LA Times. It was a christening party of a new insurance company, which has just been organized by prominent men of the city. The dining hall was exquisitely decorated with ropes of simlax studded with red flowers. The light was shed softly through shades of crimson upon tables of all glimmer and strewn with scattered rose petals, with men all in evening dress. It was pretty scene. This pretty picture of the hotel's elegant inner life was deceptive. Thieving bellboys and waiters were a recurring problem at the hotel. Con men and destitute women skipped out on their bills. Pacific Electric's Henry Huntington was stalked by an insane man who had been injured by one of his company's streetcars, and a patron was robbed at gunpoint. Guests fought in the bar room, and a knife fight between kitchen staff in 1902 left hotel butcher Evan Roberts dead. Money didn't always buy happiness, according to J.M. Moore's fascinating book, The History of the Barclay Hotel. In 1909, Ada Tilt Otis, an athletic, popular Chicago heiress, checked into the Van Nuys. She had recently divorced her alcoholic husband and was in secret agony. Although she had everything money could buy, a friend recalled, she was the most unhappy woman in the world. This is a picture of the decorated side railings and posts lined a grand entryway. That is super cool. I like vintage style, and that looks pretty cool. Matthew, I was thinking that when I was reading it. He goes, yes, Similac formula. Heather, whatever say, my dad took us to the Biltmore in LA. I never heard of ghosts, but it sure was cool, and the bathtub was huge. Brandon, how's it going? I just like how they wrote this article. It kind of reads off like a gossip column, kind of, in a way. It's kind of cool. A few days before because she was so unhappy in her hotel room, she told a friend, when I got my decree of divorce, I resolved I would never marry again. I tried society, but its vagaries disgusted me. I felt that the whole game of life is not worth the candle that it takes. Her body was quietly removed from the Van Nuys and shipped east for burial, so they kind of covered it so people wouldn't notice it. Then there was the strange case of the aforementioned W. Arthur Phipps, the wealthy elderly man who haunted the hotel for years, believing the Black Hand. Organized crime was out to get him. He's sequestered in his suite. His much younger wife forced to stay. This sounds like a gossip column. It's like his much younger wife forced to stay with him at all times. He passed away of cirrhosis of the liver in 1911, the same year as his beloved dog Teddy, and his lifelong suffering wife was finally free. Sounded like she was forced to marry him. Milo Potter retired from day-to-day duties around 1910, and competition increased as the city grew, but the Van Nuys remained a luxury hotel throughout the 1910s. It was often portrayed as a jovial place where one could find a jockey-turned-bellboy named Campbell McGavin composing ditties about the hotel's more imperious guest. His latest is Thank You, the LA Times reported, a descriptive narrative of how the present-day guest has lost the art of tipping and is passing out a mirror. Thank you, no matter how great the service of the bellman. As the 20s dawned and the city boomed, the Van Nuys, like many downtown hotels, began to play host to more and more lost, wayward souls. In 1920, a man attempted at the hotel. 4 years later, William Edward Collier. What? There's a lot of stuff that happened at this hotel. He fatally swallowed C in front of a hotel employee who was helping him pack. A petition for divorce from his wife and possibly the most vengeful suicide note ever written were found in his belongings. All right. To my wife, Ida Collier, my darling, I go nevermore to return. I have done my best, and this is the only way I can give you the freedom you crave. I leave you with your conscience. I wish I could prevent the suffering you are going to have to endure. You can't escape that inner being which will gnaw at your vitals to your dying death. You made me a cheat and a liar before the world, and I gladly assume the burden for you. You murdered my soul. Now, you kill my body. So as you go through life, think of the soul roasting in... Really? He wrote this? In hell because of you. Each night, watch my face float before you. And each day, hear the moans of the tormented soul you blasted and sent to hell for eternity. They mentioned this one in Ghost Adventures, too. Susan's like, sounds like, exactly, it does. Sounds like a gossip column. Spirit of the Tree saying gossip can sometimes be fact. That's very true. Very true. Heather, whatever. Wow. I know. He actually put... He wrote it pretty well, you know. Like, hey, why not? But he actually put... So as you go through life, think of the soul roasting in hell because of you. I can't believe he put that. Wow. Wow. And this was in 1920. That's crazy. William Edward Collier. Wow. Wow. In 1929, the lease of the Van Nuys was taken up by Consolidated Hotels, Inc. The famed dining room was closed, and the name was changed to the Barclay Hotel. The name change signaled a new transient era at the hotel, a dingier, darker era of noir occurrences with deadly consequences. In 1937, Elizabeth Rise, a wealthy 71-year-old woman from Akron, Ohio, took a solo trip around the Panama Canal. She then checked into the Barclay, now a run-of-the-mill faded hotel, on December 29th. A few days later, a maid found her seated in a chair. Her skull crushed. A brick was found in the woman's bed, a reporter wrote. The bed clothing also was saturated with, and articles of clothing scattered about the room. Oddly, Rise still wore a large diamond ring, and a gold watch sat on her dresser. It is unknown if she survived the attack. That same year, a pretty young woman with a strong southern accent disappeared from the hotel without paying her bill. In her room, management found a paper bag stuffed with clothes and a college diploma. There was also a note addressed to the Barclay staff. For weeks, I've been looking for a job and haven't found one. Now I'm at the end of my resources. No money, no job. I hadn't eaten in 3 days. I hadn't any money to pay for this room. Isn't it funny? I have a college degree and it means less than nothing. Life's like that. Marvelous world, isn't it? Thanks for your kindness, Doris Fowler. Fowler was found days later sitting on a bench in front of a gas station with no recollection of who she was. She was taken to the Minnie Barton home for girls to recuperate. That is weird. That story is weird. Heather whatever saying it sounds like an official curse. Heather whatever also said vindictive snob about the guy with his letter. Spirit of the Trees is saying I'm a huge fan of Lisa reading. Thank you. Bernadette talk about a roasting. He roasted his wife. I like that. That was like the best. I'm sorry. I mean, it's kind of it's kind of dark, morbid, but that was a kind of cool letter. Lorraine saying I can relate. I have a college degree. Bernadette saying, did Doris put an IOU in the letter? I mean, she doesn't remember. She wouldn't have remembered writing it anyways, because they said she didn't know who she was. There would be no way to save the Barclays Hotel's next. Virgie Lee Griffin, a married waitress with a crippling drinking problem. She met a former sailor named Otto Stephen Wilson in a downtown bar in 1944. Little did she know that the handsome man, who looked a bit like the actor Robert Taylor, was a vicious sadist with thirst for blood, whose ex-wife claimed that he... What? Sorry, I'm like getting shocked by what he did. He is, I don't want to read that because I don't want YouTube to, like, ban me. I know some of these words are crazy, so I gotta be careful. Well, I'll highlight it so you guys can read it. He buttocks with and then did something crazy, like a vampire does. He then apologized for his actions. Definitely. Griffin agreed to accompany Wilson to the hotel, where they checked into a room under an assumed name. Wilson later claimed that she asked him for money, which enraged him. According to court records, he seed the woman and then indulged in an orgy of scene and essing parts of the woman's body using a knife that he just purchased. He claimed that the scene took place during an argument following a demand by the woman for $20 after reaching the room. $20 is like, I mean, I guess $20 was a lot more money back then than it is now. Defendant stated his original plan was to see up the body of his victim so as to carry it out of the hotel in package form. To this end, one leg was but the plan was then to abandon because of the difficulty of its accomplishment. Instead, the S parts of the body were placed in a closet of the room. Once he was done, he went across the street to watch a show at the $1 Million Theater. Eventually, Ava Dunn, a maid at the hotel, found Griffin's horribly mutilated body when she opened the closet. 3 days later, he put her in the closet? 3 days later, Wilson claimed a second life when he was kind of crazy. When he beat Lillian Johnson in another downtown hotel. He was arrested on November 16th in a nearby bar when his bruised, blood-stained hands caught the attention of Lieutenant Harry Donlin of the LAPD. Calmly sipping on a glass of wine at a bar, Otto Stephen Wilson, late yesterday, was arrested on suspicion of committing two of the city's most fiendish slayings. "What do you want?" the tall Wilson asked calmly, putting down his wine glass as Dolan tapped him on the shoulder. "This," said Dolan, snapping on handcuffs. Wilson was convicted of both murders and executed at San Quentin on September 20th, 1946. And here is the outside of the Barclay, which is now low-income housing. Just like the Cecil. That guy was crazy. Lisa Boo, thank you. Melissa's going, oh my god, that LAPD used to be useful. Rochelle's like, damn, Lisa, you're going to have a dark hole tonight. I'm probably going to be dreaming of this stuff. Oh my gosh. Better think of butterflies and roses. Melissa goes, I want to visit the Cecil. I've been outside of the Cecil before. It was before the Bud Light virus. And it was before it was low income housing. I think now, like, they have the front of it, like, closed off. Heather, whatever, saying the Black Dahlia guy was there too. That guy was crazy. It all went downhill from there. Like the Hotel Cecil and other famous single-occupied hostelries in the Skid Row area, the Barclay became a magnet of desperation, addiction, and crime. And I'm always going to say this. Whenever I see the word hostel, I think of the movie. There were 3 fires at the dilapidated hotel in the early 70s, one of which killed 3 residents. On January 25th, 1975, murder came again to the Barclay, room 528 specifically, when a drifter named Samuel Suarez became a victim of a serial killer, Vaughn Orrin Greenwood, the Skid Row slasher. Greenwood was convicted of 9 counts of murder in 1977 and was sentenced to life in prison. The Barclay was granted historic cultural monument status by the city in 1985, but it continues its life of quiet oblivion. It is still a low-income resident. It is still a low-income residence and seems to be stubbornly resisting the gentrification that is going on all around. Tragically, death continues to visit the Barclay. Just this June, LA firefighter Kelly... What? A firefighter fell during a training exercise at the hotel. Wow, that hotel is just bad luck. What do you guys think of that hotel? Melissa gifted 10 memberships. Make sure you guys have memberships on. Hearts for Melissa. Thank you, Melissa. You're awesome. Julius is saying I couldn't stay at a place with so much negative energy. Heather, whatever's like freaky. The ghosts leave the light on for you, Heather, whatever also said. I don't know. I don't know if I would want to step in. You notice how they make these super... I would assume it's haunted. Come on, look at all the bad things have happened in that hotel. Low income housing in Los Angeles. I don't know if I would want to step into that hotel because the energy in that place is probably crazy. It just has like bad luck. Bernadette saying, so Ellie just said this is a very haunted hotel, so let's put the homeless in there. Wow. Melissa saying we all need to plan a month off of work to do a cross country trip to all these places. I know, that'd be so cool. Melissa saying, is the Barclay and the Cecile on Skid Row? Yes. The Barclay's on 4th and Main, and I think the Cecil is on 2nd Street. If I'm not mistaken. It is... No, the Cecil's actually on Main. Duh, because it's called the Stay on Main. Duh. My bad. Where did I get 2nd Street from? Rochelle's like, I'd rather live on the streets. Spirit of the Trees is saying, if you don't have memberships, just tap on the membership bubble, then allow gifts. D Nice is saying we have more tents on the street than low income housing. I know, but then they're putting these people in these super haunted places. You think these people want to live there? I wouldn't. And it's like these historic hotels too that they're doing it. Maybe the owner just decided to do it so they could keep it open. I don't know. I would assume because it's low income housing, they get something for it. But something that's been open that long, I wouldn't want to make it like low income housing. But after hearing all the stories, I don't know if I want to walk into that building. And then, because it's low income housing, you don't know who you might encounter when you go into those buildings, if they let you in the building. Heather Rudder's like, now I'm getting it. The whole picture, housing in haunted places and they can't drink. Yes. And I guess they were saying, like, fires would just happen in that hotel, too. And you can't explain, like, what, where, or who had done it. Bernadette saying, when do they knock down the Viper Room, and are you going to visit there before it gets knocked down? I have no idea, but I've been there already. I went there for... I don't even remember. I saw a band there. It was years ago, and I remember I was like, oh my god! I was getting all starstruck. I was like, wait a minute, isn't this the place where... And then I started getting starstruck. I was like, oh my god, it's the Viper Room! But I've been there already. It was years ago. But I have no idea when it's getting knocked down or if they had knocked it down already. Spirit of the Trees is saying low-key, I think the homeless are already haunted more than most. True. Yeah. Holly Monster saying it doesn't turn on a membership but allows you to receive a gifted one. To clarify what Spirit of the Trees had said. Heather, whatever, saying my friend went to the Cecil with her brother. I don't know how long ago. She doesn't scare easily, and it was her idea, but she won't go back. Her brother wants to go again. I went on the outside because I think there was an event that Lewis and I were at, and for some odd reason, I knew that hotel was near there. So I Googled it and I walked down to it. And I have pictures of it. And I was on the outside, and you can feel like that building was staring at you. It was crazy. And I was across the street. I didn't go in. I so wanted to go in, but I didn't. Something told me not to. Christy was like, oh yeah, there was a fire across the street on that episode. Yeah, and I think that Christy was on the news. Because I think they filmed it back in October. It was a while ago when they filmed that. Melissa's like, I want a piece of the Viper Room. I will guard it like the Vatican guards that piece of wood from the cross. It'd be cool to have a piece of it, but you don't know what energies you may bring back with it. So that's crazy. I think I've passed by the Barclay because it looked familiar. Because, in Ghost Adventures, they had a shot of it outside, and there were lights strewn, in between the buildings, and I remember that. So I've seen that before. So I've probably walked by it, or been by it, and just didn't realize. Bernadette saying, do you think the Night Stalker spirit is actually still there? I don't know. It's a possibility, but then could be. He could be. Holly Monster saying that's probably one of those places that make you sick to your stomach to enter. Definitely. You probably get hit with like all the energy that's in there. Because imagine with all the death that has happened at the Barclay. I feel like there's more that's happened at the Barclay than the Cecil. Now I get why they made the comment that it's the Cecil's big brother. It makes sense. Julius is like, yeah, that's scary. I wouldn't want the negative energy in my house. Rochelle, are you talking about the one that was on Netflix about the Night Stalker? Brandon's like, how did the Night Stalker get better teeth in prison? The only reason why whenever they do a documentary of the Night Stalker, which is weird, is because he actually came to the city I live in, but it's on the south end. So I kind of always watch the story when they talk about him. Because that kind of stuff doesn't happen in this city. Like, this city's not known for that kind of stuff. So it was weird that happened. That is crazy. Julissa's like, my parents were visiting family and were around the corner from where they caught the Night Stalker. Ooh. Rochelle saying, yeah. Yeah, I saw that one too. I always, whenever there's, like I said, whenever there's a Night Stalker documentary, I always try to catch it. D Nice is like, I know where you're referring. Don't say anything, D Nice. I don't know the exact house. I'm thinking the house is still there, but I don't know exactly where it happened. That's a good thing. I should find out where. I wonder if that house gets a lot of people driving by. I think some people know where it is, but I don't. I don't know exactly where. I just know it's on the south end of town. I heard Lorraine. Wasn't that yesterday? Lorraine? Thought I read an article. Thought it was yesterday. They traced, I think, Heather, whatever, I think they traced him down to buy his shoes. I, if I remember correctly. Lorraine said today. Oh, maybe it was today, and I'm thinking, I could have sworn I read it. It might have been today. I might be off. I know, D Nice. I know you're not going to say anything. Have fun, Ozzy Walks. That sounds super fun. Matthew saying several. I like watching. I always, when they do documentaries on serial killers, I'm always watching. I should do a show on serial killers. Hmm. Brandon saying it was the shoe print. Gil Carrillo caught him. Heather whatever's like only one CB in that size had been sold in LA or something impossible. Yeah, it was something like that. It was like something crazy how he got caught. Julius is saying it was in East LA somewhere. I can't remember exactly where my uncle lived. D Nice goes. I like how you put it, D Nice. I I myself is a Cereal killer. Just finished a bowl of Cocoa Puffs. Bernadette saying, I always tell my friends I can't go out. I'm busy and I put on paranormal and talks. It's kind of what I don't tell them I don't go out, but that's kind of what I watch too. I like my cereal dry. I like eating it dry. I don't like the bowl with milk, which is weird. That's probably what I'm gonna have to do. I'm gonna have to watch something with butterflies and birds and flowers after the stream. No, Have you guys watched any horror films lately? I finally revisited The Howling. I haven't seen that film since I was a kid. It didn't have the same effect, unfortunately, now that I'm older, but still cool effects. I like the way the werewolves looked. And then I'm like, he's in it? Like, I forgot. Rochelle's like, what's your favorite cereal? Melissa watched The Batman last night. I have so much to say. What did you think of it, Melissa? Let's see, what have I watched? I watched The Howling. I revisited Divergent because I saw it was on Max. And I have to watch it. That's the one movie, that's one of my favorite books. It got me through a hard time in my life. Still probably one of the, I can watch it over and over again and still love it. So I revisit it every once in a while. Um, Saw a documentary on Tina Turner. Bunda, thank you for the super chat. I'm with Lisa F. Milk. Hearts for Bunda. Or Bunda. D Nice was like, I needed to turn this to a lighter topic. I know all that stuff that was happening at the Barclay. Woo. I actually saw some Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle cereal and I was tempted. Saw a documentary with Tina that was on Max. Um, what else did I watch? Donna Summers, saw another, because for some odd reason I like watching the documentaries of people. And then watched Donna Summer. Melissa saying it was funny, but it wasn't supposed to be. Paddington. Matthew saying too bad they never got to finish those Divergent movies. For some odd reason, they went to dividing the last book. So they did one half of the last book and they never finished the second half, which is where Triss dies in the book. And I think they didn't want her to die. And I feel like Veronica Roth, who is the author of Divergent, didn't care about her book because the second two movies had nothing to do with the book. Like, now when I watch them, they're pretty good because I don't remember the books. But when I watched them right after reading the books, they had nothing to do with the books. And I always felt like the first one, they changed things in the first one, but it's truer to the book than the second and the third one. And I hate to say it, 50 Shades of Grey, like, I feel like, because I always make this comparison because Eli James, I think, is the author of 50 Shades of Grey. I felt like she was more involved with the movie because I know I'm talking about 50 Shades of Grey, but I felt like that movie was true to the essence of the book. I know you can't completely take a book and make it a movie. You have to change things because some things don't translate properly, but I felt like she did a better job than Veronica Roth did with Divergent. I think Veronica Roth just wanted the royalties or whatever you say because, like I said, the last two movies had nothing to do with the books. Like, they completely changed it. Bernadette saying I watched the Pope's Exorcist movie. I need to see that one. Heather, whatever's like, I love Tina Turner since I watched her and Ike on the TV show. Matthew's like had Ghostbusters cereal when I was a kid, also ET cereal, which Lewis would love. Christy saying I started Supernatural over again. I haven't seen it in years. Heather, whatever, saying Robert Pattinson could be dumb at my house. Rochelle's like, I actually never watched 50 Shades. But like I said, I felt like that movie followed the book better than the Divergent series. I just felt like Veronica Roth did not do her best to keep the movie true to her books. I think she just wanted the money. Melissa Smith saying, I love Robert Pattinson, just not as Batman. The face should not be under a mask. I didn't like him as the Batman. I felt like I liked Catwoman in it. I definitely liked Penguin. Come on, Colin Farrell. He's no contest. Whatever he does, I like Colin Farrell. I like whatever character he does. It's like amazing. But the movie, I wouldn't say is like the greatest. Heather, whatever, saying I look for great movies that are good, like the book To Kill a Mockingbird is very close. They made us read To Kill a Mockingbird in school. I remember that one. Christy's asking, have I seen Winchester? Don't waste your time. No, I haven't. It didn't look that... Me being a horror fan, I even watched the cheesy ones, and I didn't want to watch that one for some odd reason. So I'm glad I haven't. Thank you, Christy. Melissa saying there are 1,000 old fat bald actors that never got a break. Why have Colin Farrell be Oz? Maybe because they felt he was a part of it. Like a good placement. The director felt he'd be a good placement. D-Nice. He needed to break away from being a sparkly vampire. He chose vengeance. Brandon's like, I had to read that in school too. I loved the book. I didn't like reading until I was older. So when I hated reading when I was in school. So I didn't like reading until my late 20s. And that's when I really started getting into books. Rochelle's like, then they quizzed some wonder what the hell was that. Yeah, they did. They would make it. Yeah. Bernadette saying I'm actually reading at the moment Edgar Allan Poe's stories. I need to get back into reading. I stopped reading. Well, I mean, I read articles, but I mean, picking up a good book and reading it. Melissa's like, casting director wanted to get Robert and Colin on the couch. Then, today I watched, because I'm really into, it's a show on, it's also on Discovery Plus. I think it's on Discovery. It's on Max. It's The Legion of Exorcists. It's produced by Eli Roth, and he's in it, doing an intro. It talks to, priests priest, reverend, um, reverends. Like, there's a group of, like, people from different denominations. Are not necessarily priests, but there's, like, a priest, reverend, pastor, another guy that I want to know who he is, but they haven't introduced him yet because he doesn't look like he's a clergy member. But they talk about experiences that they have while they performing exorcisms and all that, and it's told by them, but they have a reenactment, and I'm like, whoa, I love this show. So if you guys have not checked it out and you have Max, check it out. It's pretty interesting. Max or Discovery Plus. I think it might be on Discovery Channel too. I'm not sure. But it's pretty good. It catches my... It ends and I want to see more. I'm like, what? Why did it end? It's pretty good. Holly Monster saying I'm reading 1984 at the moment. Cool. Melissa saying I just read Philippians 2. Sorry if I said it wrong. Be humble like Christ, so good. Christy's like, if you like Colin Farrell, you have to watch The Banshee of Inisherin. I really liked it. It's different. I'll have to check that out. And then, let me see what else. Bernadette saying what it's called, Legions of Exorcist. It's an Eli Roth produced show. He's actually in it though. Like, he kind of does the introduction. I love Eli Roth. And I think if you go to Nuke the Fridge, Lewis has interviewed him for, I think, The Green Inferno and some other film that I can't remember. But I love Eli. I like the stuff he's been putting out on Discovery Plus. Well, now it's Max because they combined. But some of the series he's had put out, I've enjoyed. Definitely check it out because it's like it ends and I want more. Like, I have to wait till next because I think a new episode comes on every Thursday or Friday, and I usually watch it Saturday before I stream. And this one I was like, whoa, it's over already. I want to watch more. I want to find out who these people are. Rochelle said, so it's dark here and I'm walking around the hospital while I'm watching. At least I'm not talking about ghosts, Rochelle. You're good. Because that is definitely a creepy backdrop. Bernadette just added it to her list. Awesome, Bernadette. Let me know what you think about it when you watch. Oh no, Rochelle. Rochelle thinks she just saw a shadow in the bush and the parking. Oh. Trying to think what else I watched this week. I think that was it. Besides Ghost Adventures, which is on Wednesdays now. Heather, whatever, thank you for the PayPal because you are always so kind and respectful of all. Hearts for Heather, whatever, thank you. That is so sweet of you. Matthew's going, oops, now the hospital ghost heard you talk about ghosts. Spirit of the Trees is like Eli Roth did Hostel. Of course you were his fan. I know. That's every time I hear the word Hostel, I think of the movie. I know a lot of people don't like that movie, but I love that movie. I need to revisit that one. I haven't seen that one in a long time. I like The Green Inferno. What else did he do? He did another film that I really enjoyed too, but I can't think. But I like his stuff when he puts stuff out. I like it. Bernadette saying I like Hostel 2 more. I haven't seen those movies in so long, so I don't even remember what is what. I just remember the concept. Melissa Smith saying Ghost Ship was so good. Do you have any other movies to recommend like that? Like horror movies. Have you seen 13 Ghosts? I like that one. I haven't seen that one in a while, but I like that one. 13 Ghosts is a cool one. Holly Monsters, I like his History of Horror TV show. I haven't I try to catch some of those, but I haven't really, cuz at the time the History of Horror I think was on something I didn't have. Like a streaming service I didn't have. Of course I hit the mic again. I was like, "No." For some odd reason, Melissa, that's the only movie I could think of right now was 13 Ghosts. Because I remember that one. I like that one. I mean, it's not as epic as the opening scene to Ghost Ship, but I still enjoyed it. No, that's what it was called Holly Monster. Something like the history. Yeah, something like that. But it was on, I forgot what it was on. It was on some other AMC, I think it was, and I don't have the AMC streaming service. I think it was on that. That's why I never really got to watch it. Wing Zero saying I just watched Renfield. I have not seen that one yet. You know which one I'm looking forward to? Voyage of the Dementor. And I just saw that it's not out yet. It comes out in August. I thought it was like already out or it had been out already. I want to see that film. That one looks creepy. Melissa's like, I like horror movies that relax me. Why do I find them relaxing? I think, I don't know. Maybe that's why I watch them. Bernadette saying, have I seen The Boy? They say that's where they got the idea for Chucky from it. It was a true story. I did see The Boy. I saw the second one too. I have not seen Renfield yet. I do need to check that one out when I get a chance. Spirit of the Trees is saying The Awakening is really good, just a few years old. Rochelle saying if any of you watched The Changeling. I've heard of it, but I don't think I've seen it. I don't think I've seen that one. I probably would like that one because I like the old. Let me Google search it. No, I don't think I've seen that one. I will have to check that one out. I will have to check that one out. Alice, how's it going? Christy's asking, have you seen A Quiet Place? Yes, I have. I've seen them all. I do like that film. It is crazy. It is different. Springstorm is saying The Changeling is the scariest movie I've ever seen. Love it. I need to watch. I'm going to definitely check it out. I tend to like those older, because when I was watching The Howling, it just made me realize, wow, like how I miss how they made films back in the 80s because now it's all saturated with, I mean, not saying bad special effects aren't bad, but I just prefer the way it was back then. Zero teases, I watch all Ghost Adventures reruns. I do that sometimes too. Actually, I click on Demon House. I tend to watch that one a lot. Melissa's like, I like movies with so much gore. It's funny. I am the same way too. That's why I watch Hellraiser. It's full of gore. Hostel is too. If you think of it. I love blood and like guts and gore, and Evil Dead has it too, but they do it ridiculous. Evil Dead's like the ridiculous gore. Melissa. I wasn't cracking up from the opening scene of Ghost Ship, Melissa was saying. I was like, holy, that is freaking awesome. I had a big old smile on my face. I was like, let me watch that again. Christy's like, I rewatched Silent Hill. I still like it. Oh, and Silver Bullet is a good older. I have not seen, I love Silver Bullet. I haven't seen that one in a while too. And Silent Hill. Silent Hill is kind of crazy. Cool. Too as well. With those nurses. Oh my gosh. And what do they call him? Pyramid Head? Or Fugly? Spirit of the Trees is saying The Awakening is about an early 1900s female author that does investigations to disprove hauntings, but then discovers the truth. Ooh, that sounds interesting. Melissa Smith is like, Evil Dead Rise was great. That was my movie. I loved the blood and gore in it. I was enjoying it. I always have, but when I was younger, I just could not. I know I always say this, when I was younger, I could not get the comical horror until I was older. And now I can't get enough of it. Tyrannis loves the Saw movies. Oh my gosh. Don't get me started with the Saw movies. I love Saw. I want Billy. I want to get the Billy doll from Trick or Treat Studios. And put him next to Larry one of these years. Bernadette saying Ghost Ship is totally underrated. It is underrated. I agree. Zero Teas goes, I like the movies with the evil, wicked dolls. I like those too. I always liked creepy, evil dolls because I liked how they made something innocent evil. I always liked that aspect. Matthew's like, saw it when I was a kid. My best friend is a vampire comedy. Will be on Blu-ray soon. Has Robert Sean Leonard from the show House and David Warner from Waxworks and such. I don't think I've ever seen that one. Spirit of the Trees is a Saw fan as well. Melissa wants George Clooney to save Dr. Hathaway in Ghost Ship. Bernadette saying, I wish there was a go. I wish there was, but then I feel like if there was a Ghost Ship 2, it wouldn't be as good. Because you know how sometimes the sequels aren't as good as the first movie. But then sometimes I get surprised and the sequel is better than the first one. So I wish they would make a second one, but like kind of make it like with the same twist, but something different. Rochelle saying the older haunted stuff is quite nice. Yeah, I just realized by watching The Howling how much I miss those, and I need to revisit those 80 horror films that I grew up on. Matthew's like, if you want George Clooney, Return of the Killer Tomatoes. What I used to do, which I haven't done in a long time, I would just go through Netflix and go through like their horror section and just pick a movie and watch it. And I used to do that a lot, and I used to find some movies that I would have probably never watched and actually enjoyed them because I was just did like one of those, like a roulette type of thing where you kind of just scroll through and let's pick this movie. It sounds interesting. Bernadette's like, let's write a Ghost Ship 2 script. Spring Storm likes The Thing with Kurt Russell. I haven't seen that one in a long time, too. Heather, whatever, there's a very old movie with Gwyneth Paltrow's mom and Vincent Price in it, The House of Haunted Hill. I've seen, wasn't there like a like a newer version of The House on Haunted Hill? I haven't seen the Vincent Price one, though I love Vincent Price. I've just never seen, I don't think I've ever seen. Critters is hilarious. But I like the little creatures. Trying to think of what else I've watched that I liked. Alright, guys, I'm going to open it up for questions. Do you guys have any questions? That's a good one. Bernadette's like, how about the title Ghost Ship 2, The Devil's End? That sounds cool. It has to be on a ship, apparently. But then we have to have like an epic opening scene that shocks people. Tyranna saying Gremlins is funny too. Gizmo's my favorite. I have him. He's behind me. I have Gizmo. He's right there. Heather Whatever's asking, have I had dill pickle potato chips? I've seen them, but I haven't had them. Holly Monster saying, I've seen so many people talk about making a 13 Ghost prequel that tells the story. I've heard of that too. That'd be so cool. Lorraine's like, Ghost Ship 3, Leaky Hole. Oh, yeah, Bernadette saying I would revisit the last part where he's still alive and going on the ship, then it begins. Huh. Spirit of the Trees is saying, would you seriously consider a haunted hotel meetup within the next year? Maybe. Christy saying Skeleton Key is good. I watched that. I've seen that movie. I like that one. With the salt on the door. The door frames. Melissa Ghost Ship for Rusty Rudder. Julissa also likes the dill pickle chips. I need to. I've seen them. I think I've seen dill pickle like Ritz chips. You know how the Ritz crackers has chips? I've seen the dill pickle in that too. Rochelle saying if you do try them, find the Utz brand to be most authentic flavor. All right. Lorraine's like Ghost Ship 4 dry docked. I mean, if we make it to Ghost Ship 4, it'd just be one of those movies that have like a gazillion of them. It's super. I did like that movie. I remember the Skeleton Key movie. The problem is if I find a chip I like, I end up like devouring the entire bag. Melissa's like Ghost Ship 5, the devil's dry, rusty, leaky end. ... Holly also likes the dill pickle chips. All right. I usually go for just like the Doritos or the pretzels or crackers. Like I like the wheat thins with the tomato. I forgot what they're called, but they're tomato something. Lately, that's what I've been going for. Because you can't go wrong with Doritos. 0T's is saying I collect dolls. I bought one in the yard sale, but it looks so lifelike. My sister got scared, said it's creepy. Ooh, that is so cool. That is cool. You got to be careful with buying stuff at Christy. Thank you for the super sticker of the corgi sticking his tongue out. Hearts for Christy. Thank you. That's a cute corgi. Rochelle. No, I haven't, Bernadette. Have you ever done the hot chip death challenge? No. I don't think my stomach can handle that. Definitely my stomach can't handle that. Because sometimes I can have jalapenos and it gives me heartburn. So I can just imagine what that would do. Yeah, that I don't think I could do. That would definitely. That would kill. Not. Yeah. I'd be up all night. Rochelle saying definitely try dill chips. All right, when I say next time when I go, I'll try some. I'll grab a bag and try some. I'll be like, oh my god, these are so good. Darn you guys. Heather Wetter, oh my gosh, you eat wasabi straight? I couldn't do that. Sometimes I like spicy and sometimes I don't. It just depends on my mood. Alright guys, any last minute questions? I know it's early for some of you guys, but I'm gonna need toothpicks to hold up my eyelids sooner or later. Any last minute questions? Oh, Zero T's. I used to watch those all the time when I was younger. The Elvira movies. Oh my gosh. They were corny, but for some odd reason, you just wanted to watch them. I love Elvira. Christy's saying, I wanted to tell you I tried tofu and it was actually good. I had a salad from Salad and Go and switched to tofu. It's, oh, cool. Awesome. Julius is like talking about chips. Have you seen the new Flamin' Hot movie? I haven't seen it, but I've heard of it. I haven't seen a trailer, but I've heard of it. Zero's asking if I saw the Toy Soldier movie. I have the toys? No, I don't think. No, I don't think I have. Rochelle did the last death chip Pocky chip challenge. I just about died. Was okay for a minute, then was okay. Then, oh my gosh, you were brave, Rochelle. You were brave. I think I know. I wouldn't even try. I'd be like, nope, nope. Alright, guys, I think because I'm going to need toothpicks sooner or later to hold my eyelids up. I had one of those days at work. So thank you guys for joining me this Saturday evening or early Sunday morning, depending on where you're at. And I will see you on the next one, which will be Monday at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Thank you guys. Good night. And thank you for joining me. And I'll see you on the next one. Good night, guys.